Hey guys, Ralph here, and welcome to True Power Health on this fabulous Friday here in Connecticut. Life's good, guys. Life's good. Just knocking off the sugar water, man. And just finished an hour and a half stint on the stationary bike. It's going to be up in the 50s again today, so if everything works the way I think, which it always doesn't, I'll be back out on the bike again this afternoon. Life's good, man. Oh, God, I love the bike. I just love the bike. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. Rating our elected officials' health. Rating our candidates' health, probably more important. And guys, generally speaking, across the board, man, it ain't good. It ain't good. And we're going to start with the most obvious one, Donald Trump. Some of you may or may not know that I worked for him for 5 years in the capacity of a musician, trumpet player, as well as contractor for his hotels and casinos. Ka-ching. Like everybody else that worked for him, you put up with, stuff. But you make money. And he was always very nice to me. I don't have a big problem with anything that happened. But anyway, that's hardly the point. But I know him better than all the other ones. I haven't talked to him since that time, 40 years ago? 1984, I believe. You do the math. Anyway, he... and I don't know any of the candidates, anything about their health, anything more than what we read and everything, but I can't evaluate from afar, being in this business as long as I have. Now, obviously, he is morbidly obese, which is a red flag. For somebody of his age, he's 76, he'll be approximately 77, 78 if he takes office, so you're talking 82 when he's done. Now, that does not necessarily have to be a death sentence. It really doesn't. That doesn't mean you are a feeble old man. And that's the extraordinary thing, that, and I'll get to that in a second. But I'll tell you what, even for when I knew him, look, and all these sort of things, I'm going to try very, very hard to keep the politics out of it. Okay, this is just all about their health. Now, whether you like his politics or not, guys, guaranteed, we have never had a president that worked harder than he does. I mean, he works around the clock, and he did when I knew him 40 years ago. Now, when I knew him 40 years ago, he was actually quite thin. He's tall. Not everybody understands. He's tall. He's a very, very big-shouldered and a tall guy. He's about 6'4". He's a very, very looming presence when he walks in a room, among other things. Other than being Donald Trump, he just towers over everybody, and he's a big guy. So, in a lot of ways, a guy that tall can carry excess weight better than shorter people like myself. And even then, he's not fooling anybody. He has tailored, clothes that cover it as best they can, but he's at least 100 pounds overweight. 7,500 pounds overweight. Okay? Now, when he was young, he was actually quite thin and so tall, but he was never in shape. Never in shape at all. Back when I knew him, the running craze, I knew him in New York City. The running craze was there, and he just didn't want to have anything to do with it. He was always very frumpy, even though he was not overweight. And it doesn't surprise me a bit that he, as he got older, he gained too much weight. I mean, it really is too much weight. Now, he is a junk food lover, specifically McDonald's. He loves McDonald's. And there it is. I mean, you just can't eat that way, especially to the extent that he does, and think you're not going to gain weight. You can't. Michael Phelps, an Olympic-level athlete, could not out-exercise Trump's diet. Not going to happen. When you get that obese and your arteries are full of fat and all that sort of stuff, you're almost better off, believe it or not, not working out because of the taxing it's going to put on your heart. Now, again, I don't know. Now, he has one good thing going for him. He does not smoke, drink, or do drugs. Never has. Never has. He had an older brother whom he adored, who was a terrible, had a terrible alcohol problem, and he drank himself to death when Donald was quite young. And before he passed, he sat Donald down and said, "Don't ever drink." Now, we're not talking drink excessively. We're not. We say, never had a drink. Now, that, guys, is a plus. Okay. Now, here's a fact. Okay. Alcohol. I don't care if it's in wine. I don't care if it's alcohol. Kills brain cells. It just does. That's what happens when you get drunk. Your brain cells you kill them. And you wake up the next morning and they've rejuvenated to a point, but you're killing. That's what you're doing. And it doesn't matter if it's wine. It doesn't matter if it's, a martini. It doesn't matter. Alcohol in any way, shape, or form kills brain cells. That's why I love it when people try to tell me, well, one glass of wine a day has been proven to be good for. No, it's not. No, it's never been proven that at all. Anyway, it's for another video. But now think about this. If you are just a social moderate drinker, let's say every day you come home from work and you and your wife have a martini before dinner, you have a glass of wine with dinner. Maybe Remy Martin to lots of people do that. Lots of people do that. But guys, I'm telling you what, if that is an everyday occurrence, even though you're not an alcoholic, you're not in AA, you're not ruining your life, you're not falling down sloppy drunk. No, you're just socially, you enjoy your liqueurs. You do that every day for 40 years, 50 years. That is a lot of dead brain cells. Now, the brain rejuvenates at an alarming rate, but it takes its toll. It just absolutely does. And the fact that he has never done anything. Now, I will say this. Go back to what I said earlier. He is a maniacal worker. He always been. And I always thought that he may be doing Adderall, modafinil, something like that. Very, very common among these workaholics. But he claims no. And he's very, very adamant about it. So whatever it is, his work ethic is off the charts. And his energy for that is off the charts. Now, much of his work ethic is, sitting at a desk and conference rooms and all this. It's not like he's... But anyway, so I would think he's probably on heart medication. I would think something. High blood pressure, I would think. The stress he's under and all this sort of stuff. And again, all these politicians that I'm going to be talking about, I don't care what side of the aisle they come from. I don't wish ill on anyone. I really don't. Some people bug me, and, I let them have it, but I don't wish ill on anybody. But here's the deal. 82 by the time he's done. It doesn't seem like his cognitive ability is any problem at all. I mean, he talks for hours at these rallies and stuff. And granted, he has, teleprompters and all that sort of stuff to get to the high points. But he's off on tangents, telling stories, laughing, and, his memory, I mean... Even though he is morbidly obese, he seems to be in good shape. Now, sometime between now and if he won, now and 82, if he had a heart attack, would it surprise me? Absolutely not. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. I'd almost say, what took you so long? See what I'm saying? So, anyway, that is that. Again, I don't see a red flag. I don't see a red flag considering his history, other than the weight. And until it rears its ugly head, there is no reason to think in any way, shape, or form he's slowing down, either cognitively or. And it doesn't take a great athlete to be president, to walk from the Oval Office to Air Force One. So anyway, that's that. So we'll do another one again, and we'll get down. We'll do Biden. We'll do Kamala Harris. We'll do. We can do Mike Pence. We can do DeSantis, he might be the healthiest one of the whole bunch. He's probably the youngest one. Yeah. And if there's anyone you want me to do a critique of, let me know down below. All right, guys, eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Not the fake stuff, true power. Love you all.